Hey everybody, Ben Frederickson here alongside Jeff Gordon, here with good news for a rare occasion for the Cardinals. Gordo, they won 3 consecutive games. Now, yeah, they lost the next one, but how about a series win in Chicago? The Cardinals have their 3rd series win in a row. Should we break out the confetti and schedule the parade route?
Well, if they can win 3 out of 4 for the entire rest of the season, from maybe by mid-September, we can start talking about this team having a chance. That's how deep the hole was. But, some progress. But, man, Benfred, and you wrote about it extensively. The week did not start out well, Benfred. Did not start well.
The pitching is the issue. We've said it during the offseason. We're continuing to say it into the season. And how much do we know that pitching is the issue? Well, the Cardinals have a self-created catcher controversy where all of a sudden Wilson Contreras is now basically having to prove to the Cardinals that he can be the guy to catch their substandard staff. And it is a little bit of blaming the new guy. Shockingly, the Cardinals didn't just turn into a bunch of aces as soon as Andrew Knizner started catching more. They're still having issues putting away hitters on 2 strikes. We saw Jordan Montgomery have one of his worst starts of the season with Andrew Knizner catching. It's not a Knizner problem. It's not a Contreras problem. It's a pitching problem, Gordo. And I said we couldn't even talk about the idea of the Cardinals starting to dig themselves out of this hole until they won 3 consecutive games for the first time this season. Okay, they've done that. But how do you really dig yourself out? You win series. You start to stack series wins. And can they do that with this pitching staff? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, this is going to have to be their focal point for the rest of this year and then really just going forward. Pitching. I think Randy Flores on the draft side, he's done a good job of bringing in guys that they believe will fit the new model of what they want to do with their pitching, which is make guys swing and miss, which is a good skill to have. And so they've put a lot of focus on that on the draft side. They need to do better on the international side. And just all the way up the developmental ladder to the big leagues, how they manage, how they prepare, how they develop pitching. Man, it's got to be your laser focus from everybody in the organization how to fix this, because right now they are a long way from having enough pitching to make the sort of late push or really early, mid, and late push they're going to need to catch up this year.
The division is giving them time. The rest of the NL Central teams are struggling now. They're leaving the door open for the Cardinals to catch some sort of traction. But traction has to start with quality starts, with bullpen guys doing their jobs and starting to line this thing up. If it's not Andrew Knizner who's going to lead them to all of a sudden looking like a better pitching staff, then it's got to be the pitchers. Shocking, I know. Yeah. The pitchers might actually have to hit spots. The pitchers might actually have to execute. And the pitchers might actually have to realize that a non-strikeout staff trying to always hunt strikeouts may not be the best philosophy when you've got a pretty good defense behind you. I think maybe a guy like Jack Flaherty, Gordo, not to pick on one guy, but maybe you should spend a little less time talking about the art of pitching or all the things Contreras doesn't do behind the plate and maybe focus on trying to have a better product for him in his free agent year. There's been a lot of finger pointing from the Cardinals pitchers about what other people are not doing, and I think it's really the only time left for the Cardinals to look back at those pitchers and say, hey, the Cardinals believed in these guys. They're not producing. If they can't get on the right side of this thing, then some changes are going to need to be made.
I just like watching Shohei Ohtani pitch. He just looks in there, hits his little button on his arm, picks his pitch, throws his pitch, gets the ball back, thinks about it for a split second, hits his arm again. Here we go. He's calling his own game. I mean, okay, maybe he's the greatest player of his generation by a lot. But still, it can be done.
Yeah, it's never been easier for pitchers to have the ultimate say in what they're throwing, and simply saying, well, this guy's not Yadier Molina isn't going to work, because you know what? No one is Yadier Molina. And of all the things the Cardinals should have done during the 20 years that Yadier Molina was with the team, perhaps getting someone who could pass that torch to would be a great idea. They didn't exactly do it, and now they're trying to act like Andrew Knizner isn't the guy that they shoved under the bus this offseason, saying they needed a new catcher to replace. Why they didn't clone Yadi? Well, I don't know. They should have maybe thought about that. They can't. They got to pitch better. Pitching. It's the biggest problem for the Cardinals right now, and it's what's going to have to get it better if they're going to climb out of this hole. A series win in Chicago. Let's see how they take it to Boston and do against the Red Sox. For Jeff Gordon, I'm Ben Frederickson. We'll talk to you next time.